All right, welcome everybody to another Sunday live stream. If you are watching this video after the fact, this is an intro really dedicated to you. So today is October 7th. I'm someone who is recovering from terrible self-esteem, like many of us. So I read out of this book, Believing in Myself, Daily Meditations for Healing and Building Self-Esteem. I really like it, and I have found that it's a pretty great way to start off a live stream as well. So let's do that. All right, so, and then after I finish doing this little reading, we will start asking, or taking questions, kicking it. We'll just see where this thing takes us. So it says, October 7th, ask a toad what is beauty. A female with two great round eyes coming out of her little head, a large flat mouth, a yellow belly, and a brown back. That's good. What is estimable to one person may be insignificant to someone else. Everybody doesn't aspire to be the same ideals. It's a good idea to remember that when we're trying to build self-esteem by understanding ourselves and others, it is surprising how often we tend to assume that everybody of good sense and goodwill shares our predispositions and tastes. Then, when they don't meet our expectations, we fault them for missing the mark. The truth is that they may have been aiming at a completely different direction. Several years ago, a young recovering alcoholic, an ex-convict, was about to address a high school audience on the dangers of drugs and alcohol. The occasion was important to him, and he had slicked back his black hair and dressed in a brown silk shirt with ruffled cuffs, tight brown pants of some shiny material, and spike-heeled Italian boots. As he watched the affluent, sweat-shirted blue jean students file in, his disbelieving comment was, "My oh my, these guys sure dress funny." Anyway, I do not see the world the way it is. I see it the way I am. Other people have their own legitimate viewpoints. It's always a good reminder to see things through other people's eyes. Okay, so that's just a little time kill as we get this live stream started. So again, welcome everybody to the Sunday live stream. I'm really, really glad you guys are here. And let's get this thing started. SJ says, "Sup, dude? What's going on, SJ?" Izagire Aldan, dude, miss you at Sunday Sunshine. Yeah, I didn't make it today. I chose not to go today. I had some stuff going on. I just chose not to go today. But I'm glad you were able to make it. I'll hopefully catch you next week. Chris Witherspoon, hey bro, what's going on, Chris? Patty Brady, you watch UFC 229 at all? Yeah, I pay-per-viewed that. It was a wonderful UFC event, ridiculous finish. STE Riley says, "Are you still off the beer?" Yes, I am completely sober, and I'll be celebrating 6 months of sobriety and recovery on the 11th of this month. William Seaman says, "BNK, sup, brother?" What's going on? Chris Witherspoon, what's up? What up? Jose Velasquez, hi, brother. Love you, brother. Love you too, man. Thank you. Mary Brumfield, hello. What's going on, Mary? We have a super chat right off the bat. Thank you. That's fantastic. I appreciate it. Super chat comes from Isaguirre Aldan, 99 cents. I appreciate that so much. Thank you. Thank you. I don't see a question associated with it, so let's see. Maybe you're just being a G. Here we go. It says, "I really want to let you be my mentor. I really want to let you be my mentor, me, and finally overcoming my weight and body image." Yeah, I'd love to support you in that journey, man. I'd love to support you in that journey. Sorry guys, where were we? Where are we? There we go. Okay. Mary Brumfield says hello. What's going on, Mary? STE says try some proper 12, brother. Master 8 BP Gamer says yo. Kirsten, good evening. Good evening, Kirsten. Anja Fuchs says greetings from Germany. Hey, that's so cool. Greetings back to you. Blue Cool 789. Good evening. No. Do start the live stream with a body update, or at least show your biceps or abs. There's a bicep shot. I've kind of been eating out of control these last couple of weeks, so I don't know that I give you guys an ab shot right now. Chris Witherspoon says, "What's up, bro? What's going on, Chris?" The Firmament Files. Does TRT cause tension in the head and hotness? No, I do not believe it does at all. I would hope that that's not what you're experiencing. Consult your physician, though. So I'm on TRT, testosterone replacement therapy. And if you're on TRT because you have a hormone disorder like I do, it should only level you out. It should help you be rid of the low testosterone side effects that plague a lot of guys. Montana Lewis says hello. How's it going, Montana? Chris says, "What's up, bro? How's it going?" It's going good. I just got back from a play. A buddy of mine is in a play. I haven't been to an actual theater and watched a play in so long. So that was really good. It was Schoolhouse Rock. We had fun. I was present. I was in the moment. I'm doing this live stream fasted, so I have not yet eaten today because I just ate so much food yesterday. Tons of good food. Not like good food like healthy food. I mean, there's some healthy food, but I had lots of cookies and treats also. It was really fun. And last Sunday, I did this live stream, and I was on one. Like, I don't know if any of you were here, but last Sunday, I was absolutely on one, just full of sugar, full of energy. So today I am fasted. I'm curious to see if any of you can sense the difference. I imagine my thoughts will be a little more fluid, and I'm less likely to just act absolutely ridiculous. Not that there's anything wrong with that. All right. Isaac El Mala says, "Hey bro, nice to see you. It's good to see you too." Charlene, looks like we just got a super chat from Charlene Johnson. Thank you very much, Charlene. I do appreciate that. Guys, the super chat function is a way to support YouTubers. It's especially powerful for smaller YouTubers like myself, especially because in this modern YouTube era, most of our content gets flagged. Most of my content gets flagged, and then I appeal it, and then 3 or 4 days later, I may or may not get it back. So if you ever want to support a small YouTuber, tune into their live streams, drop super chats, stuff like that. It's immensely powerful. That being said, I'm glad everyone's here. Now, if you do super chat, your comment goes to the top, and I will address it immediately and shout you out and say thanks. But if not, I'm going to get to everyone's comment anyway. I appreciate that so much. And so let's go ahead and see. So Charlene Johnson dropped a super chat. Don't forget to put a question or a comment or if there's a direction you would like me to go, let me know there as well, and I can do that. But let me see. Either way, thank you, Charlene. Okay. So Isaac said, "Hey bro, nice to see you. Good to see you too." I think I said that. Kevin Cruz, "How are you, Noah?" I'm well today, thank you. I haven't been depressed in over 2 months straight now. Congrats, that's huge. The combo of Zoloft and L-tyrosine is really working miracles for me. This hasn't happened since I was a kid. Dude, that's incredible. I'm so happy for you. I know the value and the power of experiencing depression, anxiety, long-term stuff, like the type of mood disorder that just feels like it's lasting forever. And I understand that elation that you can feel when you're able to go even a day or two without feeling terrible. And then when that stretches into some stability, like weeks and months, I mean, it's literally heaven on earth if you've been depressed. Tracelyn says, "Yay, I finally got the notification. Hey Noah, so did you get a chance to check your Facebook inbox yet to read my letter? It is important to me that you do. If you get a chance, please." I don't use Facebook, Tracelyn, in that way. Like I had to make my world smaller when it comes to how I correspond with people. So these live streams obviously is a really great way. My Patreon is a really great way. And then usually I'll try to get back to a lot of the first comments on videos, but I will track that down this one time. It's just not really a good viable way for me to be reached anymore. Isaac El-Mala says, "You seen the McGregor and Khabib fight?" Yeah, I had every confidence that Khabib was going to beat McGregor unless it stayed on the feet the whole time. And I didn't think that would happen. And then I was shocked as much as anybody watching with my buddies when Khabib just landed an overhand right so fast. That was a crazy fight. Kuna Washington says, "Hello, Noah. How are you?" I'm really, really good. How are you? Jose Velasquez says, "Have you ever had trouble with porn addiction? Can this ultimately affect your mood or tea?" Yeah, I definitely have had trouble with porn. I've been looking at porn since I was like in 6th grade. I'm really pleased and happy to say I don't look at porn anymore, and I haven't looked at porn in a really long time. And that's not like, it doesn't come from like a moral standpoint. It comes like, for me, and I made a video about this, I stopped watching porn when I was kind of struggling with my mood, and I was looking for ways that I could impact change there. Like, how can I be more mentally stable, more upbeat, better energy? Just how can I do better up here more consistently? What are some things I can do? And I came across this video on YouTube, this wonderful TED Talk, where this guy was talking about the power of letting go of porn on the mood. And so I watched that video, I was moved, and I gave up pornography to see if it would help my marriage, my sex drive, and my overall mood. And I believe it very much did. So I think you just, like anything in life, for me, it's acting when we have the instinct to act. So it's not letting those moments of inspiration pass us by. And it's understanding like why we want to do things. Like, I think that's incredibly powerful. And this is something I still struggle with. But the more I can attach a reason why to even basic healthy things, the easier it is for me to adhere to those things. It could be small ass things like, this is why I drink water when I wake up, to this is why I choose not to look at pornography anymore. If you know why, you could follow through, and if you follow through and get the benefits, it fuels the fire of like continuing that, right? We have another super chat from Elizabeth Harrington, $1.99, saying, I love you. I love you too. Thank you so much for supporting me in this channel and for your kind words. It means so very much. Chris Witherspoon says, you helped me with my anxiety because I have it bad. I'm glad to know I could help you, man. Guys, I put out a survey on my YouTube channel, and I asked you guys what kind of weekly content you would want to see, and an overwhelming majority of you voted for weekly mental health tips. And I need to remember that that's largely why people subscribe, is they're hoping for some support there. And that's important to me. Like, I have learned a lot, and like all of us, I do have something to offer in that realm. And so I promise, if you're one of the 52 people here, which I appreciate, I think that's dope AF, I'm 100% have a renewed inspiration to make sure that if I have something to offer to support people's mental health goals, I want to. I really do. Nathan Roberts says, did you go to a TRT clinic or go when you first got... Did you go to a TRT clinic or go when you first got your script for TRT? So I went to my doctor and we were trying to figure out why I was depressed. That's how I ended up on testosterone replacement therapy as prescribed by my physician. I ended up on this treatment because my blood work showed that I had very low testosterone. And then following blood draws revealed the same, and then more blood draws revealed the same. And that's how I ended up finding out I even had it. It was just complaining about treatment-resistant depression, and then blood draws validated that fact. Arturo Guerrero. I will be starting TRT at 22. Doc highly recommends HCG. Is it necessary or can introduce later on? So I'm of course not a physician, but the doctors recommend HCG because it can allow you to maintain the aesthetic qualities of your balls. It'll keep you from experiencing testicular atrophy. So it just keeps you on line down there, and it also is said to help with fertility. I've never been on it because it just wasn't brought up to me to begin with, and then every time I was ever supposed to do it, I just didn't. But I mean, like, I will always defer to consult your physician. That is the right thing to do. Izaguirre, I'm going to call you Iza. Is it Iza okay? Says, I would pay you. My alcoholism capitalizes on the fact that I have always been overweight. Yeah, hopefully we can work something out, my friend. Hopefully we can work something out. I don't really like take clients for that sort of thing. I mean, I've sort of played around with doing some nutritional coaching and some mindset coaching and stuff like that, but it's all informal. It's all informal. Chris Witherspoon, how's yours been doing? You still have it, and what you do? I watch your videos all the time about depression and anxiety. Chris, what did you ask me before to make sure I remember? Chris. Oh, my anxiety. I see. Yeah, my anxiety is good. My mental health, God willing, knock on wood, one day at a time, it's going really well, and I'm trying to stay in like this space where I don't take that for granted. So overall, I'm fantastic, and I've worked really hard to get to this space. And so on a day-to-day basis, I really, really appreciate it. Isa says, seeing what you have done with your own body and life inspires me too. I'm glad to know that. And trust me, dude, if I can do it, anybody can do it. It's not like there's no secret to what I'm doing. It's just the secret is just massive surrender. Be like, okay, I need help. I don't know what to do, which is me speaking, right? I need help. I don't know what to do. Where can I get tangible answers, actionable game plans? Am I willing to do the work? That's all. That's all. Mary Brumfield says, really enjoyed your videos on depression. It has really helped me. I'm glad to know that, Mary. I have more coming that I hope can be helpful to you and many others. That's for sure. The Firmament Files, thanks, you got it. Charlene Johnson, hey. Andrew John, okay, talking to each other. He's like, dang it. So the computer occasionally, like on the live stream on my side of things, I'll be like working my way down the comment section, which is amazing. There's 50 of you here. I'm so happy you guys are here with me. Please, if you're watching, get involved. Jump in the conversation. It's us. It's a little community, right? Let's be involved. It's way better that way. But anyway, the comment section will occasionally just shoot to the newest comment, and so I'll totally lose wherever the heck I was. Let me see if I can find it again. Isa says, I want to start TRT too. Yeah, man, just go get blood work done. Mohammed Radi says, what's up, bro? Hope you're okay. I'm doing really well. Hope you're okay too. Kuno Washington says, I have anxiety attack now. Help me, Noah. Hop on your knees, close your eyes, and do some square breathing. 2 seconds of breathing in. Hold your breath for 2 seconds. 2 seconds of breathing out through your mouth. Hold your breath for 2 seconds. Rinse and repeat until you feel calm. Dimming the lights really helps. Stay brave, okay? Isa says you were on one. Yeah, I really was. Jose Velasquez, did you ever experience of have been called a hypochondriac? Yes, I've gotten teased about being a hypochondriac from people that know me well, especially like my mom, since the beginning of time. It's that part of my anxiety is something I've really had to work on because yeah, I'm very body conscious. I latch onto things. I obsess. I've continued to work on that. Jose says, because you were misunderstood either by docs, friends, or fam. I don't even know that misunderstood. I think is I think as much as I might be inclined to be like they don't understand me, I think like a lot of us, perhaps I have to be careful when I say stuff like that, but I think if I'm being truly honest, I don't think I've been mostly qualified to understand myself. So yeah, like saying those people don't understand me, I'm just barely starting to understand me. Getting to know yourself, like really know yourself, it takes work and effort and humility daily. Developing your character and being able to take an honest look at yourself is not easy. And so anyway, it's just not easy. Worth it, but not easy. Charlene Johnson says, how's everything going? I found you through your father's channel. Everything's going well. I'm glad you found me through that channel. That's actually my channel as well, and I'm glad you're here. Isa says, I'm on step 6 now. Good for you, dude. I'm on step 4. Kirsten Shanezer says, depression, anxiety, OCD, and suicidal thoughts are super amped up lately. That sucks. Counselor thinks I should try meds, but I'm super hesitant. Think I should give it a try. Kirsten, I can't possibly tell you whether or not you should give that a try. It's such a tremendously huge decision. I mean, only you would benefit or potentially suffer for it, right, if you had really, really bad side effects or whatever. So my standard line here, and I believe in this, so it's not a cop-out, is if you believe in your heart of hearts that you can stay safe, meaning you are not going to act on any of these thoughts, if you believe that, then what I suggest doing, like if it were me, I would take a good hard look at the things I am not putting 100% of my effort into that are considered natural. So I would write down the fundamentals of mental health, like the key fundamentals, right? Social support, sleep, diet, therapy, nutrition, self-care practices, spirituality, mindfulness, in other words, meditation or whatever, I would look at those key things and I would really, really ask myself, when there's no one to judge the answer, am I doing everything I can? Everything I can. And if you're not, and you know that, then it's okay. That's not a bad space to be in. It's good to be aware, because it gives you a chance to re-up. If you don't know how to be better, then you can ask for help there. But if you believe that you're in danger, or you've tried everything you possibly can, then maybe it wouldn't be a bad idea. But only you can know that. Joe R. Thank you, Joe. By the way, Joe, Joe is one of my Patreon supporters, which I really appreciate, Joe. So it kind of almost kills me to see you support a live stream like this, because, I mean, you're already spending your hard-earned money to help support me, and so I appreciate it. But anyway, thank you, I think is what I should be saying. Joe R. says, has your location had impact on your mental health? So if you mean in terms of being in a part of the country, being the USA, or a part of the world where for most of the year it is overcast like it is right now, meaning not a lot of sunshine, a lot of seasonal affect disorder, perhaps. How about this? Perhaps. And with that in mind, I definitely this year have already started taking a fair bit of vitamin D, because everybody in the Pacific Northwest is vitamin D deficient. Vitamin D is a hormone that is incredibly powerful for mood, proven. Like, if there's supplements that everyone should be mindful of, or at least like, what supplements do we know for a fact can affect mental health, vitamin D, or the hormone vitamin D, is incredibly powerful and proven. So how about this? Even though, like, I've never been one of those people who's like, oh, you know, the sun's not out, I'm down. I don't want to deny the fact that there's an absolute likelihood that it does impact me in some way, shape, or form. I certainly know that when summer ended and we started to transition into fall, I had a crazy mood swing. Like, I started craving alcohol again. I started getting more anxious. I had a weird couple weeks. Anyhow, I think that's what you meant. I hope that's what you meant. And thank you for the super chat. Let's see. Where were we? Katie LaRose says, hey, you're awesome. You're awesome. But thank you, Katie. Mariah Bigham, hey, is it normal to be turned down from a counselor? Things have just gone haywire lately, and I haven't been able to cope, so I signed up for, and they didn't allow me to go forward with it. Interesting. I don't like, the word normal just perturbs me. So I can't say that that sounds terribly common, but I don't know the context or what the situation was for them. Either way, what would be unfortunate, Mariah, is if you leverage that as some slight on you. Like, if you somehow turn that into there being something bad or wrong about you. There's not. You're wonderful. Go find someone else, okay? That's all that means. Don't let that become a reason that you think something's wrong with you. That would be very unfortunate, because you reaching for help, like any of us, in whatever facet of life that we could use some coaching, that's a positive thing. It just is. There's nothing like negative you can say about making that sort of decision. So try again. Kevin Cruz, I wish you could see the smile on my face. Thanks for the love, brother. Well, now you can see the smile on mine. That's awesome. Tracelyn, okay, I understand. It's a very personal letter and gratitude letter I wrote you. I don't know any other way to reach you. Oh, Tracelyn, I'll find it. I appreciate that. I'll find it. I'll open up a tab right now and find it. Hang on. All right, Facebook. I'll go to my messenger. Message request. Yeah, there's like a million here. Tracelyn. I'll find it, okay? The Firmament File says, you think Tony Ferguson could beat Khabib? I don't know, dude. I was telling my buddy that I thought Tony Ferguson was the best chance at this point in time. But Khabib's an interesting man. I don't know. I put my money on Khabib. But Ferguson's legit, too. How about this? I certainly know Ferguson would have a better chance than Conor. I thought that last night. But anyway, Crystal Wheeler says, how do you keep motivation up when depression keeps flaring up? This is an interesting question that I'm so glad you brought up. I do have an answer that I hope can help. I don't keep motivation. None of us do. Inspiration, excitement, enthusiasm, motivation, those are all things that come and go. And the difference between people that, in my opinion, are ultimately successful in whatever they're going after for, or at least the difference, to not sound so black and white, but at least the difference that is more streamlined, that moves along in a more respectable fashion, that just goes faster. The difference is people have habits that support their success, not like a higher abundance of motivation. That's truly what I feel, because I don't believe I'm any more motivated than your average person in a number of ways. I don't. Like, I feel laziness all the time. Like, I feel lack of interest, a bit of apathy, sloth. Like, I like to just procrastinate as much as the next person. But what's allowed me to be successful is to turn certain things that have been presented to me as being like extremely valuable and working them into my habit loop, working them into my day-to-day ritual, so that when I am not motivated, which happens, when I don't have any inspiration, I'm used to doing them anyway, like brushing my teeth, like waking up and drinking water. They just happen, and so despite the way I feel, I get things done. And I move in the direction that leads to better self-esteem, better success, better whatever. So, as a long-winded answer, all of us just need to find small things we can start incorporating into our day-to-day life to create habits. And that way, we don't do what I've done many times in the past, which is, oh my God, I feel incredible today. I'm going to conquer the world. I'm going to wake up tomorrow and be a new person. You put this pressure on yourself. You bite off way more than you can chew in like a small increment of time, and then you burn out because you don't have the habits and the best practices as a set loop behavior, and then you end up doing nothing or you regress. So pick something small that you're going to do. I'll give you one. Wake up each day and drink a glass of water. Do that every day for the next month. That'll be a good start. All right, where are we? Tashayla Witcher says hello. Hi, Tashayla. Welcome. Marianne Begum says, being turned down has really messed up stuff more, and it sucks because I've been doing so well, so I just want to know your point of view on it. My point of view in general on being turned down is that this is easier said than done, but I have been improving. Something we should all strive to do. I will say that confidently. All of us should strive to be, we should strive not to be codependent at all costs. Okay, codependency from like a casual encounter to a personal relationship can be very toxic. And what that means is that the way someone else behaves towards you, or the way they see you, or the actions they put upon you directly impact how you see yourself. That's so dangerous, and this is not something I do perfect, so I'm not preaching to you. I'm more just, we're mind melding. But when we do that, when I have done that, I've gotten my feelings hurt, because people are fallible. You can't trust people in that way to be like the source of your self-esteem and your being okay. You have to be that person for yourself, and this won't always go perfectly, but on principle, that should make sense to everybody. We can all be let down by people, including ourselves, but who do we ultimately have the most control of, right? Us. I can't control you. Like, I couldn't control, let's say all of you right now unsubscribed and my YouTube channel was taken away. I couldn't change that. Like, nothing I could do that would be outside of my control. And therefore, I wouldn't leverage my mood, I wouldn't leverage my self-esteem or my worth on stuff like that. That's like a weird example, but it's just what popped in my head. Let's see. Nathan Roberts, GP, shoot, I just realized I wrote the wrong thing. Oh, okay. Matthew Wilkins, could you talk about derealization? I've broken down recently into tears because of it. Just can't snap out of it. So, Matthew, derealization, it completely thrives upon stress. it thrives upon stress. So for those of you that don't know, depersonalization is this feeling that you're in a dreamlike state. I best describe it to folks as like if you've never been formally depersonalized, it's like having terrible brain fog. So imagine being massively sleep deprived, hungover, and overcaffeinated. I think those are the three. Any combination or all of those things give a pretty fair depiction of what it's like to be depersonalized. So the thing that's really important and has always been important to me is that if I'm activated, that fogginess, that detached feeling, that depersonalized feeling increases. Now, I don't formally believe I'm depersonalized anymore. I think just sometimes I get anxious or I get foggy. But the point is we need to minimize stress. Go Google keys to minimizing stress and figure out what the simplest thing that you can start incorporating into your life that will go a long way. And otherwise, just stay brave. So guys, we just got a really generous super chat. And I don't say that lightly, a really generous super chat. I'm so thankful. And it's from Christina. And Christina has done a $20 super chat. And what does she have to say? She says, "I am so sad, but I can't stay for this live stream. Sad face, I have math homework, but you are the bomb, Noah. Praying for your continued dependence on God and by default become strong." Christina, thank you so much. Is that just like a parting gift? Did you just drop a $20 parting gift? Now I'm extra sad that you're leaving, but I'm so happy that you're going to do something productive like math homework. That can't possibly be your first idea of fun. I appreciate your prayer. I'm one of those people, guys, that believe prayer works. And I don't care if you're religious or completely atheist or agnostic. I just believe the act of praying is powerful, and I think there's social science to back that up. Thank you, Christina, and have a good math session. That is a beautiful gesture, really. It's badass. Thank you. Okay. Justin Torrance says, "How long after starting TRT until you got the most mental health benefits out of it?" I'm 6 weeks new into hypogonadism treatment, so any insight would be great. I'd say around 6 weeks for treating my low testosterone was about when I started to feel mental health stuff start to improve. I did not have a light bulb experience with testosterone replacement therapy. What it did give me, it infused me with hope that maybe I might be okay, and I think that took me a long way. But physically, I started to get more energy, feel more hunger, started to be able to actually lose some weight, put on some muscle. That happened fast. But mental health, I'd say I started to really experience the benefits around month 2, and sort of added upon itself. It stacked up through month 6, assuming I did not redline other things that could be considered obviously bad for you. AKA, try, Justin, try not to let this be your excuse to just mistreat your body. Don't empty the tank in other ways, like your sleep and your lifestyle, just because you're on TRT. That was a mistake I made. It's not a license to all that. Truth me. Okay, Crystal Wheeler. "I have ADHD, anxiety, and depression. Any tips to help?" Yeah, I think the best tip, Crystal, is to write a vision statement. It's something I take people through who work with me on Patreon, and it's not like it's magic information. It's just like I'm more of an accountability partner on my Patreon. But what I would have you do is write down what your ideal day in life would look like if you didn't suffer from these things, and write it from the first perspective or from the first person perspective. For example, it could be really simple, saying, "I wake up with energy. I walk outside and I smell the fresh air and I'm thankful that I feel good. I enjoy a healthy breakfast, etc. I feel what? I am this. I think this." Basically just I statements that really encapsulate where you're headed, and then read that every day. I think that's a powerful way to start, because I think like a lot of us, me included, there's so much we could do that we get overwhelmed, and sometimes some of these more, I think the word is esoteric exercises can be really helpful in just getting our mind right, because this is a long-term battle. Esoteric, esoteric, maybe that's how you say it. Intended for and likely to be understood by only a small number of people with a specialized knowledge or interest. Intended for or likely to be understood by only a small number of people with a specialized knowledge. Sorry, I wanted to double check what that meant. I don't want to be one of those guys that uses bigger words or whatever and doesn't know what they mean. I was like, esoteric. Okay, April Orange says, "Hey Noah and friends, I'm happy to be catching a live stream. I'm so happy to have been caught. Truly, you're wanted and needed. Thank you." Isaac El Mala says, "I know he had a lot of adrenaline after he won, but McGregor never pressed charges apparently. Real men appreciate real men." Agreed. Jose Velasquez says, "You save lives by validating the mental disorder community. Just want you to know this. You were the first person to reach into my soul and kept me from ungodly things. Stay loved and blessed." Thank you. I appreciate that, and I understand the power of that. That was done for me as I try to do for others the best I can. And so I as my good friend Sean Stevenson says, I received that. I really do. I need to hear stuff like that. It makes me feel very good. Catherine Jaramillo. I have been struggling with depression for a while now. I didn't know I was until I attempted suicide. Oh, bless your heart. That's so sad. I'm so sad to hear that, and I'm so glad you're okay. I hope you're getting all the help you need and deserve, and I hope you know that I 100% believe you can be okay, and you can find a life worth living. Jose Velasquez says, "How do you manage your bodily consciousness as far as fear of health?" I think I manage my body consciousness, my hypochondriac nature, by living and behaving in a way that's very respectful of my body to the best of my ability. You know, I think it's not being callous. Like, okay, so when I was drinking, like I'm sober now, God willing I stay this way, life is so much better. But when I was drinking, right, I was binge drinking all the time. I knew it was damaging, like to my mind and my body, and I knew it perpetuated my anxious behavior. So just the act of being sober and working a recovery program builds confidence and self-esteem that I'm taking care of my body. Same reason I love eating vegetables, same reason I learn about my sleep patterns, same reason I'm questing to be the best version of myself, because as long as I feel like I'm actively participating in my own life and I'm moving the needle forward, it helps minimize some of my baser instincts to worry. So that really helps me. And as far as also as fear of health is knowing that other people struggle with that too. It's a condition to be a hypochondriac, and it doesn't make it real. And so I think just getting educated on the topic helps. The more I learn, the better. There's a difference between learning, though, and worrying and researching. We'll get into that some other time. Catherine Jaramillo. I'm back on. I hate when I read a name and I'm like, that's not at all how that name's supposed to go. But Catherine says, "I am back on meds now. I'm thinking about trying to go back to counseling. I was wondering if you go to counseling." I absolutely go to counseling. I am fortunate enough to be able to visit with a drug and alcohol counselor every couple of weeks. And then in my 12-step program, I meet with a sponsor once a week. So every week I have someone who works with me, and I'm so thankful because I need leadership, active leadership in my life, and I kind of think everybody does. Jose Velasquez, sorry if I don't make sense. I'm in deep peace, but you're doing amazing. Don't be sorry. Please rid yourself of that sort of mindset. You don't have to apologize. Joe R, stop spending money on Starbucks. Happy to distribute that to independent creators. Dude, Joe, you're incredible. You inspire me, dude. What an amazing mindset. Like, that's cool, man. Like, actually. Oscar Jane says, thoughts on neurotropics. You know what? I'm just learning about nootropics, so I can't really share anything other than I'm learning about it. But nootropics are drugs, supplements, and other substances that may improve cognitive function, particularly executive functions, memory, creativity, or motivation in healthy individuals. So I think when we think about neurotropics, are we thinking about like our medicinal mushrooms, not magic mushrooms, but like herbs and stuff like that? Is that what we're talking about? Like reishi and ashwagandha and stuff like that? Anyway, it's exciting. I follow a live stream, not a live stream. I follow a podcast from, what's the podcast called? I love this podcast. I think everybody should check it out. So I'm like a big proponent of let's help healthy people be even more healthy, and then let's get people that are unhealthy to a better baseline. Like, I don't just believe the people that are in the extreme category of unwellness, whether it be physically, mentally. I don't believe they should be the only focus. They are the most important person in the room for acute need. But if we can raise the awareness and the wellness of the community, of all of us, especially those that are pretty well but could be more well, I think it just lends itself to everyone helping more people. So anyway, it is the Biohacking Secrets Show with Anthony DiClemente. So if you guys are looking for cutting edge interviews and really cool information on just like hacks, it's called biohacking. Biohacking is just this act of like learning how to leverage supplements, nature, schedules, timings, whatever, to elicit a really fast response. Like, for example, if you wake up and drink 30 ounces of water every morning, it has been proven that it'll satiate the brain, improve digestion by this many percent, right? And eliminate your need for coffee by 20%. Boom, you've just been hacked. It's that sort of thing. So everybody should check it out. I think it's an incredible podcast. So definitely take a look at that, because I listen to it all the time. This guy's wonderful. So I don't know if you guys can see it, but it's this one. Biohacking. Okay. Ooh, happy Sunday, everybody, by the way. I love that you guys are here. There's 51 people kicking it with me. I don't take that for granted. You guys are the best. I mean, there's nowhere I'd rather be. But let's get back to the comments. I know I get distracted. Crystal Wheeler says, my mood is 100% affected by the weather and the sun. Yeah, I hear you. I hear you. Light boxes, vitamin D. Jose Velasquez, it makes me upset that doctors tell me hormones like vitamin D don't matter and use themselves as proof. That's terrible. What are you supposed to do when you keep running into this type of individual? Maybe my insurance kisser? Yeah, you can't control those sort of individuals. I think what Jose is talking about are people that use anecdotal evidence for themselves as some sort of law for other people. Like, hey, this worked for me, it's supposed to work for everybody, or whatever. Or like, look, I love this one. Someone, like, let's just say, some people are gluten sensitive, right? They get inflammation. They experience inflammation from gluten. Some people. And other people don't. Or at least don't exhibit any really noticeable side effects. And they'll tell you, I eat gluten and I'm fine. But a lot of them would probably benefit from like hopping off most inflammatory things. So they might be used to feeling bad. And so they mistaken their own baseline as good when it could be better. That was a jumbled assortment of words, but anyway, I think you guys get what I'm trying to say. If not, we're just gonna wash that. Tracelyn says, thank you. Actually tearing up here. I got you, Tracelyn. You're good. Marching on 19. Hello, Noah. What's going on, my friend? What is going on? Welcome. Welcome, everybody. Oscar James, are you still cutting? No, guys, so I'm working on my mindset right now to not feel shame, but I've just been in the space of weight gain since I hit my peak physique. Like, forever, you guys, forever I just had this dream of getting really lean and cut, and it was just so far away. I just couldn't imagine ever getting there. And then I put my things in order, I got sober, I committed, I found a system that worked for me, and I just got really focused and really serious. And I got down to like 193, 194, and I was lean, like dream body. But once I hit that goal, I put this arbitrary number out because I assumed I would look fantastic and feel fantastic at it. Once I hit it, kind of like old behaviors, I was like, oh, well, now what? And I definitely have gained some weight back. I think when the dust settles after this weekend here, because it's been a pretty gluttonous weekend, I bet you I've gained like 6 or 7 pounds back. And I literally was just talking to my wife. I was like, Jess, I'm running the risk of doing what I always do, which is yo-yoing. I don't want to be that person. Like, I'm trying to cultivate this image of myself as someone who's consistent, who is disciplined, who knows why he wants to be healthy, why he wants to live a certain way. So I will be making a concerted effort to get back to 195, but I bet you right now I'm like 201. I bet you I'm like 201. So no, I'm not cutting, but I don't want to be gaining. I don't want to be like, oh, I did it, now I go back to being heavy. No, like, no. I'm trying to create a new idea of who I am, and I'm someone who's lean and healthy. Yeah, so I've not been inclined to show you guys what I look like shirtless in a while, and I'm like, don't do that, Noah. Like, I don't want to be that guy that hides just because he put on a couple pounds. I love my body. I just recognize that I've been on like a pattern of weight gain for a couple months. Can you tell I'm a little insecure? Okay. Eon Phillips. Really helped a lot with anxiety and OCD, obsessive thoughts. I'm so glad to know that. That plagues me, or it used to, and still can sometimes. That's wonderful. Madison Martin says, I've been struggling with a major depressive episode for the past 3 months, and it's stolen a lot of hope for me about my future. That is the nature of it, right? I can't seem to find motivation for getting back into an exercise and diet. Yeah, so again, with this idea of motivation, I hear you, and it's very unlikely that you're going to be motivated very often if you're depressed, and that is the damning thing of it all. The good news is you don't have to be motivated to start kicking ass, you know, to start moving the needle. I heard this incredible stat or study. I read this in this book. I'm reading a book right now every morning for about a half hour. I read a book called Chasing Excellence by Ben Bergeron. And in this book, they talk about this 1% rule, where if we can just focus on getting 1% better on, and then spread the graph on a number of things, it can over time compound into major change. People hear this a lot, but it doesn't really sink in. It's taken a while for it to sink in for me. So what I'm saying, Madison, is that you don't have to wait to be motivated. You just have to figure out the least common denominator of what you're willing to do. So like when I was depressed, I wasn't willing to do much. I really wasn't. I mean, I barely wanted to be alive. But there was a part of me that did, right? Wanted to be alive, but just you have no hope, no energy. It's awful. It's a terrible place to be. But I was willing to like drink a glass of water when I first woke up, you know, and that was something I would do. And perhaps for you, that can be a start. Or you can say, like, you can build towards like an eating window. Like I do intermittent fasting, very powerful for weight loss, weight management, mental health, a lot of stuff, detoxification. But like maybe you can say, today I'd be willing to not eat till 10 a.m. and something like that. I don't want to get into specifics with you, but don't wait for motivation. Figure out what you're willing to do today, however small, and get used to doing that, okay? And maybe write down why you wanna get better. Like why? What's your goal and why? I think a lot of us lose touch with that. But either way, I believe in you, and I think you're gonna be okay. I promise. I promise. Okay. Stony Gamer Network. Hey man, any tips for like ruminating on certain failures while depressed? Like for example, excessively worrying about being good enough, like in your relationship. Yeah, I definitely have tips for that. And the tip is, and anyone who tunes in frequently enough, they're probably rolling your eyes. But unless you're doing this, I don't want to hear it. I want you to wake up every day and do gratitude. Gratitude, daily goals, and affirmations. Your self-talk is likely toxic. You probably don't know how to be kind to yourself. So my tip for you is to download an app like the 5-Minute Journal. God, I hope they sponsor me someday. And I want you to work on gratitude every single day. Every single day. It will help you with worry. The antidote to worry is gratitude. And if you don't have a gratitude practice, you're missing out on an incredibly powerful and completely free option, okay? So I want you to work on your gratitude. The app is called 5-Minute Journal. There's the little icon right there. 5-Minute Journal. A Look with Luke. What's going on, dude? Matthew Wilkins, can you explain your DP? Mine is horrible and actually contemplated suicide the first time because of it. I cannot escape this foggy detachment from reality. Please help. Yeah, I mean, DP is just being in a dreamlike state. And it's a really scary place to be. But Matthew, your brain craves to be better. So lessening your anxiety and lowering your inflammatory profile is key to healing from depersonalization. We want to get you calm. We want to get you calm as possible. So breathing, I mean, look up meditation, yoga, breathing practices, anything to get you out of that prefrontal cortex, or back into that prefrontal cortex and out of that limbic system. is key. Pillsbury Dope Boy. Dang it, I started. All right, my bad. Pardon me, guys. I just got bumped really far. Pillsbury Dope Boy says, heard of sulforaphane in sprouting broccoli? No. Supposedly increased mental scores on autism by 40% and helps schizo patients tremendously as well. That's amazing. Thank you for sharing that. I haven't heard of it. Crystal Wheeler says, thank you. You're welcome. Paul Benish says, happy Thanksgiving. If there's any Canadians tonight. Oh, nice. Happy Thanksgiving, Canadians. I didn't know that was today. Dakota Fang says hello. How's it going? Stygian Stayart says, yes, I try to keep the negative people out of my life, even if that makes me feel bad. I don't want negativity every day. I prefer respectful friendships. Not only do I prefer, and that's beautiful, by the way, not only do I prefer respectful friendships, I demand respectful friendships and relationships. I mean, my wife and I have strict rules about disrespecting in how we treat each other and how we talk to each other, particularly in public, but definitely in private. Something that makes me so sad is when I see couples who have a strange childhood brother-sister dynamic where you ever seen a couple talk, or a woman, I guess it doesn't matter. Have you ever seen a couple talk down to each other in public, make fun of each other in public? I have a rule with my wife that we don't make fun of each other. We don't tease each other at each other's expense in front of company, especially company we don't know. Like, we maintain, I'm just passionate about this, and so I'm flustered with my words, but yeah, I demand respectful relationships in my life, and I expect to treat people with respect at all times. It's never okay, in my opinion, to not carry yourself that way. And the sad thing is most people don't demand that, and they get used to being mistreated, and it's too bad because it leads to manipulative relationships, horrible dynamics, codependency, so many things that just don't help us thrive. Good for you. Everybody, please demand healthy relationships in your life and separate yourself from the ones that are not healthy. You are who you hang out with in that way. And I know it's not that simple with friends and family, but especially family, but it can be pretty simple to start setting boundaries. Jonathan Aliprendi says, strongest tips for getting rid of DPDR and anxiety. This has come up a few times, and I will keep drilling it in because there's so many things we can do. Like, any of us, it's the information era, right? All of us can go online and Google billions of things we can do. So it's not that. It's not like, it's more to me, like I keep saying, and I will keep saying, understanding your reasons why, and then having visual cues. So my strongest tip for you to get rid of it is to write down what your goals are. So if your goals are to not have DP, great. Why do you have those goals? And I want you to write a couple paragraphs. Really, why? What does it mean to you to have that gone? At what length are you willing to go? And then read that every single day for a week and go from there. But beyond that, minimizing stress. The show 78596, do you ever work out fasted? Absolutely, all the time. All the time. So fasted training is particularly powerful for weight loss goals because we have glycogen stored in our muscles. Glycogen is the primary form of fuel when we exercise. And all of us right now have plenty, we could all work out right now no matter what we think is going on, and we would do just fine without having food beforehand, because we have essentially carbs loaded into us already. So I like working out fasted a few days a week just because I'm just in fat burning mode. So I'm burning through that glycogen, and then I know that whatever's left over is me working into a form of fat for energy. Yeah. It compounds on itself. You get a lot more out of it than you do when you don't work out fasted. J-Dog. Hi, how you doing? Even evil people pray. Yeah. I'm doing good, and I think I'm with you. Sounds about right. Nathaniel Milot says, you demand, Noah. Thank you. You are too. Dakota Fang, does Effexor really help with anxiety? That's a psych med. I'm sure it can. Consult your physician and be careful. Stygian, oh, you're talking, okay, cool. Dakota Fang says, is it more with depression? You guys are chatting, cool. J-Dog, so what day of no FAP you on? Yeah, so I actually, you know what? I very seldomly masturbate anymore, but I don't count the days. And if I do, it's not to porn. Elizabeth Harrington, lost my boyfriend because of depression. Hey, Elizabeth, I'm glad you're talking about it. You know you're wanted and welcome here. Elizabeth is one of my Patreon gals, and I'm glad you're able to talk about it. You need support. Madison Martin says, I struggle with perfectionism, and it exacerbates my depression so much because it makes it so hard to find value in doing small things, feeling disconnected from God, really hating myself. Oh, that's so sad. That's so sad to hear. I too struggle and have struggled with not feeling good enough. I think most of us struggle with damaged self-esteem, warped self-esteem, and self-hatred. It's a terrible thing. Here's a tip. Here's something that's really helped me. I've showed this before, but that's me when I was a baby. There we go. So that little pudgy baby, that's me. And someone suggested that I put that on the backdrop of my phone so that I remember that anytime I'm being negative towards myself, hateful towards myself, judgmental towards myself, something that's counterproductive, look at that little baby. And would I ever harm that little guy? No. Like, no. He's perfect. Like, look at him. That little guy is absolutely perfect. And he's still in there. He's still in there, and he needs me. He needs me to be kind, loving, gentle, patient. Also, you know what, if you're more of like a fact-based, science-based person, it's been proven that self-criticism and judging and negative self-talk and all of that stuff, you know, that tough love thing, it does not elicit positive change in people. It's a sucker of change, not a giver. So just remember you need to be loving to your little person. Dakota Fang, I am so sorry. I forget what the context was. The Medic 5, let me make sure I don't have any super chats. Okay, we're still up to date on those. Cool, cool, cool. The Medic 512, Noah, any experience with EMDR? That's a form of, okay. Our staff Psych MD utilizes it to help providers process exposure to terrible situations. I've been through a session of EMDR. It's like an emotional freedom technique, right? Don't you like tap on certain body parts, like something like that? EMDR. Hand tapping, yeah. So I've definitely done EMDR. I've been led through it by a physician a couple times. It was a crazy experience for me. Like, I cannot tell you how crazy it was. So my doctor at the time, whom I miss terribly, she would have me, because I struggle with self-esteem and I compare myself to other people and I don't feel like I'm good enough like a lot of us. And so she had me like tap on certain points. I don't know if they're pressure points or what. I remember doing it like here, and I would say, I am good enough. I am good enough. And I would do it like this. I am good enough. I am good enough. I love myself. I love myself. I love myself. And the craziest thing happened when she led me through this exercise. I bet you guys could find someone leading you through this on YouTube. I just became overwhelmed with emotion. Like, I felt like I was going to cry instantly. And I have one of those instincts to not cry in front of people. Not because I see crying as weakness. In fact, I think people that can cry in front of others are incredibly strong. But, like, it just made me want to cry. It did something. It did something. So, you know, just having you bring that up literally makes me want to try it again. Because I think I got some tears in me right now. And things are going well. Maybe I should just watch The Notebook. That always gets me too. It is a gloomy day in Portland, Oregon, you guys. No. Anyway. All right. If you guys want your question bumped to the top, drop me a super chat. It supports the channel and it gets your question answered immediately. Even $1 super chat does that. So just throwing that out there. I appreciate you either way, and I don't mean to be in poor taste in bringing it up, but your boys gotta eat. Your boys gotta eat. Okay. Justin Torrance says, should I worry about other hormone imbalances in regards to my pituitary and or hypothalamus since I have hypothyroidism? Correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe you said you also had hypothyroid. I do have a hypothyroid, and when it comes to, I'm about to get new blood work done. I'm really excited to share that with you guys. Transparency is key. When it comes to blood work in general, hormones in general, yeah, all of them should be good. And if we can establish why we have imbalances or whatever, then we figure out root causes. That's even more important than just supplementing. But yeah, all hormone imbalances, if you have access, should be looked at for sure. For sure. Dakota Fang says, being in the moment helps with anxiety, body, mind, and soul. Meditation works too. Yes, everyone should have a meditation practice. Joey Bernier, I just found your channel this week, and I can't tell you how much it has helped me. Relating with you and others has helped me knowing that I'm not alone in depression, anxiety, and substance abuse. Joey, you just literally hit the nail on the head. You're not alone. I am not alone. We don't have to figure this out alone. The isolation that most of us feel is brought upon ourselves, from ourselves. There's just a world out here screaming to be like, hey, like, me too. Like, you struggle with depressive feelings, me too. You hate yourself, you don't know why, me too. You feel like you're not going anywhere in life, me too. You struggle with panic, me, you know what I mean? Like, we get it, and that's why we're here. We're just here to be one tiny little boost to keep going and to see what might come next. And also, all right, cool. Forgive me, friends. My. Look at the time. Let's see, it's I think I had a half hour left. 15 minutes to a half hour left. My YouTube family. LABS129, hello, what's going on? Welcome. Joey Bernier says, I'm happy to know I'm not alone. Thank you, brother. You're welcome. April Orange, how do you start to really pray? Logically, I understand the power of prayer and the benefits of spirituality, but I'm struggling with the whole higher power stuff. My heart isn't in it. Your heart doesn't have to be in it. Like, that's what it was explained to me. You don't have to know what you're praying to. You don't have to believe or not believe in anything. Just pray. Just pray. And usually you can just, something as simple as close your eyes, bow your head, and say, thank you for this day. Help me to be the best person I can be today. You don't even have to know who you're praying to. It's not necessary. It's not a prerequisite to pray. That's it. People overcomplicate prayer. Johnson Alex. Dang it. Hang on. Johnson Alex says, do you still take your anxiety meds? No. So guys, I have them. I used to take Klonopin, really small dose Klonopin once in a while. I was using it to deal with hangovers when I was being really, really crappy to myself back in the day. But no, luckily I've been able to manage my anxiety through lifestyle, mindfulness, and different tools like that for today. And I have it as needed if I need it. Last time I needed it was almost a year ago. April Orange, and thank you for all the shout outs and support you give us. My pleasure. Dakota Fang does, oh boy, oxcarbazepine work with anxiety? I don't know. I'm not a pharmacist or a doctor or anything like that, so I don't have specific knowledge. Everything I share with you guys is almost entirely anecdotal. Chris Witherspoon, missed your tip on anxiety. Your voice means so much to me and Philip. Missed your tip on anxiety. Your voice means so much to me. I'm glad to know that. I hope I have an okay sounding voice. Okay, I turned that into something weird. That's too bad. My tip on anxiety. Yeah, I think like a lot of the anxiety tips, and you know what? No, I think nothing is more instantly helpful than a breathing practice with anxiety. Like for acute anxiety, for sure. I do it all the time. Like before I started this live stream, I did a square breathing round. I did 2 of them. So my square breathing is like my secret weapon for my anxiety. I can always settle myself with that. It's incredibly powerful, and like the mind affects the body, right? The mind affects the body big time, but the body can affect the mind. You can actively change your biochemistry through breathing practices. So Chris, find a breathing practice every day, aka a meditation practice. All right, friends. Sorry. No. Oh, there we go. Jose Velasquez, have you ever tried CBD? I have not. NBS 199621, have you ever tried a chocolate donut? Yes, I have tried many chocolate donuts. Especially like, I've had more donuts in the last 2 months than like the previous year. I've just been like a donut monster. Jose Velasquez, how about powder? It's better not when you have gluten intolerance though. How about powder? It's better not when you have gluten intolerance though. Oh. Milky Mike, hi. What's going on, Milky Mike? Dennis Audit, Noah, I just want to thank you for everything you are to your listeners. You are a great inspiration to those struggling with mental illness. I'm proud to say I'm a Patreon supporter. Continue all that you do. I'm working toward overcoming my depression, and you have been a very important part of my healing. Oh, that means so much. Thank you so much, Dennis. That's beautiful. Wishing you nothing but mental health, good mental health. B Stokes, hey B. Hope all is well with you guys. B Stokes is one of my longest YouTube family members. I don't like the word fans at all. I don't like that word at all. But she's been around forever. You are appreciated. I see your face and I literally just feel good. So, April Orange, love what you said about respectful relationships. And although I've heard you mention gratitude journals before, to be honest, I haven't done them much. So good reminder. Yeah, I need reminders. Like, I don't know about you guys, but I oftentimes have to hear the same consistent reminders for the same universally acclaimed actions or behaviors and feel the same sort of angst that leads me to want to change a million times before I will ever do something. This is also something I'm working on, which is the idea that I can, really embrace the ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure mantra. Yeah. Angelo Bongarzone, hey brother, I'm coming up on a year soon. Hey, congratulations. That's fantastic. That's wonderful. Akram Muhammad, hey Noah, good to see you. Good to see you too, sir. Cool Kid Gang YouTube. I don't know if this is true, but do depersonalization make your vision look weird? I mean, sure. Yeah, it can kind of make things feel like blurry or like you're looking at life through a glass pane. Madison Martin, I worry struggling with depression is going to prevent me from having a healthy long-term relationship in the future. Ah, you're in the future, which you have no control over. You have control over today. So Madison, I want you here. All of us. Noah, I'm talking to myself, I want you here. Healthy people don't want to be around depressed people that don't like themselves. Healthy people aren't as healthy as you think they are. Some people just fake it better than other people. I like to think that there's a spectrum of health, physical, mental, emotional, all of those things. That worry will beget the worry. So all that any of us can do is focus on today and focus on things we do today. So Madison, it would be awesome if you finished your day with writing down 3 things that you're grateful for. And they don't have to be like, oh, I'm grateful that I live in a house. Like, you can just say, I'm grateful for the taste of chocolate. You can say really general things. And also, I think, Madison, I benefit from affirmations. I don't know about you, but the language that I've grown accustomed to using with myself is highly inappropriate. The things I say to me, it's ridiculous. So let's see what I wrote today, okay? Just to show you guys I'm not BSing about this. I live what I preach. Pew! Opening my 5-minute journal app. And today, no. There we go. Daily affirmations for me today, October 7th. I put, I am good enough. I am smart enough. I seek God daily. I love myself. I trust the 12-step process. Here's what I said yesterday. I am worth staying sober for. I am kind. I am smart. I am a child of the universe. I am good enough. I love myself. Yeah. If I can do daily affirmations as a modern day macho man, anybody can. I'm not sure what just happened there. We have a super chat from Elizabeth Harrington. She's $1.99. Thank you for that so much. Says I have to go to bed now, so good night. Good night, Elizabeth. Thank you for your time tonight and for your support. Incredibly powerful in my life. Jose Velasquez says, Elizabeth, my heart, Elizabeth, my heart out to you. Keep positive and take care of yourself. Beautiful. I love it. Angelo Bongarzone says, I did EMDR. I like it. Heck yeah. It's good. Akram Mohammed says, cool kid doing. Okay, you guys are talking to each other. Awesome, awesome. Tracelyn says, Effexor has bad side effects. Hair loss makes you feel lethargic, creates insomnia, and sometimes suicidal. It's very painful to get off of. Was on it for 4 months for anxiety. It's brain poison. The whole psych meds thing is really interesting. I try to be really careful with that because I'm just not qualified. But I know people who have commented that it's been very powerful for them, and that's great. I know other people who just couldn't get past the side effects and say it's the worst thing that ever happened to them. If that's not a damning aspect of all this, I don't know what is. Isaac Elamala says, J-Dog and Christina, I beg you to stop judging us. Only God does. Thank you very much. Oh, I don't know what I missed there. Tracelyn, it's been raining for a week in Windsor, Canada, and another week ahead. Yeah, gloomy. Yeah. Something I try to remember is, like, if I can't control it, I don't give it the right to affect me. Like, I work on that, like the rain and the weather. I can't control it. So it does not get that energy from me. I focus on what I can't control. It's a waste of time, right? Akram, not to say, no, actually, yes, it's a waste of time. Akram Mohammed, I'm actually having self-esteem issues lately. I'm blaming myself so hard about opportunities I didn't take, and I feel really dumb and cowardly for not doing so. Look at that. Look at that and learn from it. Someone far wiser than I says we don't ever take losses, we just take learning opportunities. So be better prepared to make that decision in the future, I hope. Tracelyn says, I have Graves' disease, form of underachieve overactive thyroid. I have half thyroid removed from cancer too. Talk about fighting fatigue. No kidding, Tracelyn. God bless you. Justin Torrance, thanks, bro. You rock and are helping me through this really, really hard time in my life. I'm really glad to know that, man. Definitely not alone. Spencer Link, tell me about protein sparing modified fast. Have you tried that? No, I've just tried regular fast, where I can incorporate coffee, apple cider vinegar, like an herbal tea, water. Roblox mods, are you natty? Oh, dang it. Let's see. Hold on, let me get back to where I was. Come on. There we go. Okay, so Roblox mod says, are you natty? I think on YouTube I'm considered half natty because I have hypogonadism. So a doctor prescribed me hormone replacement therapy. So I'm on 140 milligrams every week. So my testosterone levels are supported to normal healthy ranges exogenously. So with that being said, I think technically I'm considered half natty on YouTube. Marla Robinson, Noah, I think you have done so well because you have a strong faith in some higher power. I can see how much that helps you get through your struggles. Yes, it does help me, and it's nice of you to notice. but what I like to drive home to people is that I kind of like the idea that faith is an action. It's like love. So my faith in work is me doing active prayer, meditation, and trusting guidance of leadership. It's less of like, I don't really know what it all means or is, but I know that I have to put action towards it, and I've been told it will help. And desperation has been one of my best gifts. They call it a gift. So someone has once said to me, like, I wish you the gift of desperation because sometimes that's what it takes to wander into a life like you could never imagine. I also hope you're well, Marlon. I hope your son's okay today. Jeff Dilaha What's up? You have really helped me. Thanks, bro, from Michigan. Awesome. Thank you, Jeff, for saying that. And I got family in Michigan. On a side note. Traceland, I love these Sunday nights with you, Noah. When you read my letter, you'll understand why. You were such a big part of my self-care routine. Oh, my therapist even thinks you're very good for me. That's like the nicest comment I could ever hope to read. Thank you. It's beautiful. Elizabeth Harrington, my boyfriend broke up with me because I want into the psych hospital. It hurts so much because I thought this guy was the one. That's tough. Be good to yourself, okay? It's really hard. Cool Kid, dang YouTube. Can doctors give you medicine for depersonalization? So depersonalization, which is, again, for those of you that are just tuning in and don't know, depersonalization is a condition I suffered from really bad when I had a paradoxical reaction to a med that leaves you in a dreamlike state, among other things. Very scary. And what doctors can do is give you certain medications off-label, but there is no set directive, if I'm not mistaken, please correct me in the comments below if I'm wrong, for depersonalization. It's kind of like an add-on to anxiety. Anxiety and depersonalization, though, do go hand in hand. So if you're going to treat anything, treat that anxiety and hang in there. So we just got a $10 super chat from Jose Velasquez. Thank you, by the way. Thank you to anyone who ever spends their hard-earned money supporting me and my family and this channel. It means a lot. It really means a lot. So Jose says, my phone died. What was your insight on CBD? Also, have you heard of SYD Banks? Sid Banks. You guys can look him up. He has powerful insights on the power of thoughts. Yeah, thought is everything. So CBD is that, I believe if I'm not mistaken, CBD is like an oil that it's not very psychoactive, right, for weed. My perspective on CBD is that if you have some general application, if it can help you, that's great. If you can do it safely, you understand like anything in life, I think the key is to truly understand possible risks and side effects and the possible benefits and outcomes, and then weigh the two and hopefully weigh them with someone else who can objectively help you navigate it. I know for me, based on my experience with medications and my incredible PTSD from taking medication or taking something that wasn't naturally in me and then having an adverse reaction, I know that I'm not prepared to try it. It just doesn't lend itself well with the way I'm wired and the way I think of medications. I mean, I get really scared. And the reason I get scared is because I took a medication known as VIVITROL, which the active ingredient was naltrexone. Long story short, I had a really rare reaction to it. In fact, it was the reason this whole channel came to be, because I was injected with a med and then had this like black book rare reaction that spiraled me into a suicidal, dangerous, treatment-resistant depression with anxiety and depersonalization. Now, I've heard a lot of good things about CBD oil. I truly have. From a lot of respected medical professionals, too. It's becoming more widespread. So I think it's definitely an option that people should look at and decide if it might be an option for them. At this point in time, because I try not to speak indefinites, but at this point in time, it's just not for me. I get too nervous, for stuff like that. And I'm choosing to try to manage these things that we all try to get better at: anxiety, sleep, productivity, in other ways. And thank you, Jose. And I'll look into Sid Banks. I'm open to anyone who can positively influence me. Tana Giberson says, you should do a P.O. Box haul soon. I will. I just cleared my P.O. Box, had a few things. They're right over here in my basket. I will for sure film one this week. Thank you to anyone who ever sends me P.O. Box stuff. It's so fun. And thank you for the super chat, Tana. Let's see. Roblox mods, nah, just playing. No, it's all good, dude. I think it's fair. Look, my whole goal is not, I have no shame in anything I do so long as I don't lie to you guys for any reason. Or God, even worse, lie to myself. So I know why I'm on TRT, and I'm so grateful that I have something that can support my physical and my mental health, based on that blood draw. It was such a big part of my well-being. So when people make jokes about like, oh, you only, not that you did, but like, I've had people, as I've lost weight or whatever, tell me that it's because I'm on TRT that I'm built or I have some muscle. And it's like, okay, whatever you say. Like I'm gonna just keep doing what I'm doing because I'm just trying to be the best me I can be. Akram Mohammed says, have you read any books about anxiety, depression? Do these really help? And do you have any recommendations? Yes. Guys, every single person needs to read this book. I am not sponsored by this author, but I love Douglas. Douglas is my guy. Healing from Depression, 12 Weeks to a Better Mood. This book comes with a biographical piece where Doug tells his story. This story and this plan, I owe a lot to it. I read the story when going through Hell Don't Stop, which is the little part in the beginning of this. It was the first time I believed that someone else understood depression like I understood depression, understood anxiety like I understood anxiety. And that connection, the ability to relate to someone, is everything. So please read that book. Healing from Depression, 12 Weeks to a Better Mood by Douglas Block. If you read this book and do what he suggests, your life will change. It's just a matter of willingness and figuring out how to incorporate the reading into your lifestyle. Because a lot of people want to read, but they don't know how to make time. For me, I make time first thing in the morning. That's the only time I will consistently read. And I've developed that habit now. Monday through Friday, because the weekend sometimes I'll watch cartoons, believe it or not. But Monday through Friday, I will read for at least a chapter, or if not a chapter, I'll get to a half hour of reading every single day. While I drink my coffee, after I've done my gratitude, my affirmations, my daily goal setting, and I've done some AA reading, 12-step reading, excuse me. Roblox mods, you're a top lad, mate. Cheers. Rockshot 100, love you, Noah. Love you too. Bora, dang it, it did that thing again. Excuse me, guys. Let me. Bora Adelaide says, shout out to Istanbul. Noah, thank you for all your work, buddy. Hey, shout out to you. You're welcome. Tony H. Hey, Noah, how does your wife feel about your YouTube channel and where it's going? She loves it. She's so proud of me. She's so supportive. Guys, sometimes I forget to really process this, but when I first started making YouTube videos back in 2012, I was just looking for someone to relate. I was in a treatment-resistant depression. I was suicidal. I was sick. I was dangerously sick. And so I just started sharing my personal thoughts, my personal feelings, my experiences, documenting what was going on with me in hopes of finding someone. And she was supportive then. And she's still supportive to this day. And I mean, I don't know if you guys have ever perused some of my older content, but I shared some things that I'm not entirely sure I'd be comfortable sharing now. I'm just not sure. Not because I would ever want to lie, but I basically for years said anything that crossed my mind. And the thing is, I feel like I'm a lot healthier right now, mentally and emotionally, to decipher what should be said, what shouldn't. But one of the things that endeared me to a lot of you was the fact that I was just raw, for better or worse. I mean, some of that raw talk lost me followers, but some of it gained me followers because people were like, this dude will say anything going on with him. Like, he's honest. And that's always been like my foothold in this whole game. It's like, can you be honest with people? Can you share with people openly and honestly about things that most men hide away? And perhaps people, but I mean, I am a man. Anyway, she's supportive and she loves me, and she loved me before this became a formal thing. You know, I can't support my family on just this channel alone, but this channel and other ventures have made it so I can be a full-time content creator between this and my other channel. My Patreon helps, and I do some side gigs. So she just lets me be me, and she bought into this dream as I gave myself permission to buy in to this path I got put on. You know, she's the best. All right. Let's be real. What's up, No? What's going on? Tracelyn, okay, my dude, I'm confused. I can't afford your Patreon, so I just tried to send you a $5 super chat from my debit card through PayPal, but it says my bank debit card is expired. Not possible help. Tracelyn, don't worry about it. Honestly, the Patreon thing is like, you could sign up for Patreon, $1 a month. So guys, the Patreon deal, I don't want to like stress you like, oh, he's trying to get money out of us. I try not to think of it that way. Like the Patreon is like a way that you can reach me every day via message for as little as $1 a month. I set that up so that people that have a higher need to get a hold of me on a day-to-day basis or need some extra support, they can, but then I can leverage my time. That being said, Tracelyn or anyone, tune in on Sundays for these live streams. I'm here. and you don't have to do super chat. I'll get to your question no matter what, and I'm thankful for you no matter what. Let's Be Real says, have you tried CBD oil and meditation hypnosis? No on the CBD oil, no on the hypnosis part of meditation. I'd be down to try that though. Blue Cool 79, I just want to thank you, son, so much for the recent test injection video that you have posted recently. Have you ever had an infection or a negative experience after the injection? I've had, you're welcome, thank you, you're always so nice. I've had really painful injections, like where I flexion happened, where I flexed my muscle, so I was far too tense when I injected, or I had to pin multiple times, or I struck some type of nerve. I've had like a lot of pain, and I've had it to where it felt like I was Charlie horse for long periods of time. But otherwise, no. Luckily, my hygiene practices seem to be up to snuff to keep me from like an actual real problem. Isaac El Mallah says, love you, brother. Your guidance is very helpful about healthy relationships. Thank you. I love you too. When I say I love you guys, like family, like friends, like fellow mental health people, fellow self-esteem survivors, you know, I have so much love for my community, our community, you know, that I get to be a part of. Let's Be Real says, wait, so you know what caused the issue with testosterone? I know, yeah, I guess so. I guess the only thing I don't know for sure is what my testosterone levels were before that. But I definitely know what caused my whole breakdown, which has been, what's the word? My doctors suspect. We've collectively looked at everything, we plotted, you know, the way the events have unfolded, and we do believe that shot, that paradoxical reaction I had to that shot, led to a misfunction of my hypothalamus, which led to pituitary problems, which led to hypogonadism, thyroid issues, and a multitude of things. But I was like abusing alcohol before that, so who knows just how level I was. I don't know. Eric Hale says, are you still doing the TRT? Yes, I am. Once a week, 140 milligrams. But that could be subject to change. I just picked up a new doctor, so grateful for him, Dr. Chris Melidis. I'm going to get him on the channel, and we're going to learn a lot from him together. Shar Schroet says, hi, no, I've been suffering horribly with depersonalization or a feeling of that for the last several months. I was diagnosed with hypothyroidism at the same time. Do the mental symptoms ever ever disappear? Yeah. Fight for balance, fight passionately, never ever give up, and you'd be surprised how healthy and well you can feel despite having at one point felt terrible. So yeah, I don't believe I've ever felt this stable ever as an adult. And I was in a treatment-resistant depression with anxiety, DP, and more importantly, as would pertain to that question, a horrible sense of hopelessness for years. I mean, nothing any of you or any doctor or anyone could have ever said for the longest time would have moved the needle on my belief that I was ever going to be okay. And guess what? I am okay, and I'm glad to be alive, and I have a good life today. And this is from someone who used to sleep in a bed next to his parents' bed at 26 years old, fighting panic attacks, fighting suicidality, couldn't be left unsupervised, the most black tar depression that I didn't know existed. I went from that to being like, I'm okay. And I work hard for that, but I'm okay. And you can be okay too. Is it dark in here? I actually think it's easier to see me like that. I think the natural light outside looks better like that. What, Jess, you know what's going on with food? What's up, Bill? Did you go? You okay? Mm-hmm. You go for a run? Nice. That's my wife. Wait, that's my wife right there. Hey, there she is. Oh, I'm picking your nose.
Are you doing the live stream?
Yeah. I'm almost done. I've been doing it for 90 minutes. Oh, yeah, but I've been working. Taking a shower? Yeah. All right. That was my wifey, my pretty little wifey. All right, Brent. Oscar Gona says, look into DHEA, Shar. Cool. Omer El Deep says, hey, big no-no. In school, ever since I've got my depression, my grades are suffering. What I do everything you can to manage your depression. Just first things first. First things first. And your job right now is to support your depression. So as long as you feel physically safe, try to do your best to continue with school. If you need to drop a couple classes to work on your mental health, that needs to come first. It won't matter if you're in a black tar depression. So just start moving that needle, my friend, and don't give up. You're not alone. Dang it. Jose Velasquez just dropped another super chat for $1. Thank you, Jose. Do you have a question? You can provide an answer if you're looking for what happening. Reset or stay strong. SidBanks.com. So he wants me to shout out SidBanks.com, I think, which is fine. And thank you for the super chat. Justin Torres says, do you think 400 milligrams of testosterone cypionate once a month would work better broken down into 400 milligram doses? Yes. So the question is, should you spread your dosages apart? So I take 140 milligrams a week. The reason I am not a big proponent of these massive monthly injections is that it's going to spike your testosterone greatly. Your body is likely not going to be able to, of course, consult your physician or whatever, but your body is very unlikely to be able to make good use of all that testosterone. What you're going to end up doing is converting a lot of it into estrogen. So the whole idea, especially when it comes to this mood stabilization or whatever, you can think of it much like insulin when it comes to energy and fat loss. We want it to stay as within smaller peaks and valleys. Okay, we want smaller peaks and valleys. So I like weekly injections because it's an easy protocol to adhere to. And it keeps me from doing this and then running the risk of having some side effects from my levels dropping tremendously. Consult your physician, of course. I know dudes that pin twice a week because they swear that that's the best thing for them. I tried that, and I just found that I was forgetting to pin, and it wasn't working for me. Austin Calderon says, thanks for all your vids, bro. You're welcome, Austin. Thank you for being so nice. Austin Calderon, and then Oscar Gauna says, do you take AI with your TRT? HCG, I'm assuming, not hug. So an AI, guys, is something that's known as an acronym for aromatase inhibitor. So guys that take testosterone like I do, prescribed by my doctor for my condition, some of us don't convert very well. So, you know, I could take a certain dose, but some of it would end up being estrogen. And if your estrogen gets too high, then you are setting yourself up for a host of side effects from having elevated estrogen or aromatase. So they take something known as an aromatase inhibitor to blunt those effects. And then you have to play like a trial and error game trying to get the levels right, from what I hear. The answer is no. I manage my hormones just by, we lowered my dose. God, if I've ever done a live stream this long, sometimes my brain gets a little bit scattered. When my estrogen levels were starting to get high, my doctor elected to crank down my dose. Lower my dose to manage my estrogen, which worked great. No HCG either. Let's Be Real. Let's Be Real says, the vegan challenge was dope, man. James Cameron said the vegan diet can put Viagra out of business. Yeah, I continue to be more and more curious about veganism in general. I don't appear to be ready to fully turn my life over to that. I know it's very controversial for some reason, but I definitely learned a lot from that challenge, and I already loved vegetables, and now I just have a better sense of protein diversity, and I'm more in tune with other possible health benefits, you know? Yeah, no. Jeru Mizu says, thanks for your vids. Love your channel. Thank you for the kind words. I appreciate that. Dennis Audit. Douglas is also great. Anyone here that needs help getting through tough times, Douglas and Noah's past vids are huge. Yeah, everyone go subscribe to Douglas Block. Akram Muhammad says, got it, Noah. Thanks for the recommendation. My pleasure. Nader Al-Qam says, hello, Noah. How do you become spiritual without major religion? I grew up Muslim. I think spiritual principles are just kind of universal. So just maybe look up spiritual principles in lifestyles and try not to associate them with religion and just see if they help you. Trayson says, can you explain why YouTube is against your TRT videos? I don't understand because I have male friends who do those shots too, and they said you are very informative. So why do they not like those vids? I don't know. You know, YouTube has become very sensitive to content that seems like it could be drug promoting, and I suppose they could misconstrue and or just lop anyone who's sharing about taking an exogenous hormone as being dangerous. I don't know. I've been trying to figure that out because one of the things that everyone loved and hopefully still loves to an extent about YouTube is that because there's just this freedom of expression. It's like it's just a free wild west platform. It had its flaws though. I don't know. I think the answer is I don't know. What I try not to do is worry about it because I can't change it. So do my best to adhere to their policies, remember why I'm here, remember how lucky I am to have an audience, and then share carefully about my TRT journey. I'm grateful that I was able to share so openly for so long. Alrighty. Rockshot100 says, have any antidepressant pills ever helped you? I took an old tricyclic called Nortryptaline. I don't think it hurt me. Otherwise, no, not that I remember. I was put on a plethora of different options for a long time when I was trying to figure things out. Jose Velasquez says, okay, yeah, he's promoting that one find. Jose says it can provide answers if you're looking for what's happening in the suffering state strong community. Awesome. Emmanuel H says, you lucky you have smart wife. Please, I have more respect to her. Yes, I'm very lucky. Very lucky. Corey Fletch says, hi Noah. Shout out from Newfoundland, Canada. Newfoundland? Love your videos and motivation, man. Thank you for your help. You're welcome, Corey. Thanks for the shout out to me. I appreciate that. Shout out right back to you, boss. Trayson says, I watched your wedding video. I cried. It was so beautiful. You two are so perfect for each other. Just think you are so lucky to have such a beautiful, supportive, understanding wife. I am very, very lucky, and we work hard on our relationship. We're learning to treat love like an action, and it seems to work for us today. And thank you. Yeah, it's a beautiful video. It's a beautiful video. Jose says, take care, man. You too, man. Take care, boss. Rockshot100. I found out that I had almost no thyroid function, plus the testosterone levels of a 90-year-old man. Yeah, I was easily depressed. Seriously. It makes me so sad to think how many people are just walking around with, like, these obvious, glaring issues with their thyroid, their testosterone, other hormones. There could be vitamin deficiencies and nutrient deficiencies. Things that, if addressed, could change so much. Just go get blood work if you have access to blood work. I am teaming up with a lab, by the way, guys, and I'm going to be able to offer you guys a discount code to have lab orders come to you so you don't have to go to a doctor to order these labs. Then you just have to go to someone to interpret them. Michael says, do you regret any of your tattoos? No, I don't think so. I don't think so. I try not to live in regret. I love my tattoos. I mean, I got this silly one right here that's remedy misspelled. Literally put a misspelled word because I thought it was cool on my arm in high school. I take that one back. The Godfather says, I have depersonalization for almost 4 years and still not gone. It's tough, dude. That's tough. But I don't believe for 1 second that it can't get better. I'm pulling for you. Kirsten Shanezer says, I found your dad's book at a small bookshop out here in Minnesota. Yeah, so my dad got a major book deal, and he got to release it nationally, which is really cool. It's called, he has 2 books, but the one he just released is called The Addiction Spectrum. It's a powerful book. Traceland says, after I saw you go vegan for a week, I tried it too. I still do not do no red meat, but I can't go without my fish, eggs, and the gas. Oh God, that's rough. Seriously, that is one thing about going vegan that was insane. I literally had the worst gas. Like, I was farting every 5 seconds for a week. It was intense. The Godfather says, yeah, after all these years, I'm still positive and I'm hopeful. It's just one of the worst things. I wonder what, I mean, is there anything you haven't tried? What's your day-to-day life like? Like, what's your routines? I hope you're staying hungry. Henry P. Flucker says, I noticed you like working out with your TRT. Have you ever stacked it with another performance enhancing drug. I haven't. I just have my TRT as a part of like my healthy protocol based on my needs. Tracelyn, people have no idea how much the thyroid gland controls seriously. It's very important to get blood work done for it. I didn't realize how much it can wreck your moods and body if you're not properly working. Yeah, if there's ever a reason to just try to live a healthy lifestyle in general, it's because it's so punishing not to. It's like, fuck, it's just not worth it. Guys, I think I'm probably going to call this live stream. I feel like it's been really, really fun. It's been really good. We're at the end. I got caught up on comments, which I never do, which is fantastic. There's still 52 people here, so I imagine a bunch of you guys have not dropped a comment. Do it. Austin Calderon says, did you always have the same injection shot? Also, what's your protein source? I get protein from everything. I try to get as much as I can from whole foods and plant-based stuff, but I also do some farm-raised organic eggs, chicken, stuff like that. Yeah, and I've always injected in my outer left quadrant on my thigh. Justin Torrance says, low T anxiety is insane for real, dude. Livia Lima says, thank you so much for your channel. Your mental health tips were fundamental for me on getting back to a healthier routine and really seek out help. Keep up the good work. Thank you. I'm so glad that you're doing better. It's awesome. Justin Torrance says, thanks, Noah. You got it. Kirsten says, take care, Noah. Hope the week goes good for you. Thank you. You too, Kirsten. I'm really pulling for you. If you're having a hard time right now, that obviously makes me sad. The Godfather says, how did you get rid of it, though? And my day-to-day life was very social, but still end up having it. I got rid of my DP, just like my depression and everything, just step by step, stacking the things in my favor. I mean, there's no secret to it. It's just I built better habits over time, continued to learn more. Time took time. I got better at the craft of being healthier and learning more and cultivating willingness. There's no secret. It's like I just started doing more things that eventually led to better mental health. That's it. And the keys to good mental health are diet, exercise, supplementation, therapy, spirituality, community, stuff like that. And I just stacked more odds in my favor, read more books, saw more specialists, did what was asked of me. That's a big one. Because I've been getting information on this stuff for years, but even to this day, I still hold on. It's like I hold on to my own ideas. So letting go of my own ideas, huge for me. Austin Calderon, do you snore? No. But when I was heavier, I did. Or when I drank, I get really wasted and then I would snore. The Godfather, mad respect, bro. Respect right back to you. Rockshot 100, Noah, I hate giving myself injections. After 3 years, you would think I'd be used to it. I could never inject my leg. Yeah, I don't know that. I got better at it, but I don't know if you ever get like really used to it. It's kind of an anxiety-provoking thing, but I always tell myself like low T symptoms were way worse. But I feel you. The Godfather, did you write your experience and details in the book? No, I've never written a book. I'm in the process of hopefully writing a book with another person. There's a doctor that wants to work with me to help me write a book, but we'll see. All right, guys. I'm going to go ahead and say bye. Again, thank you so much for being here. Have the best possible week you can. Be 1% better than you were today, next week. Let's all check back in. Hopefully next Sunday you can join me again. 1% better is what I'm going to go for this week. I appreciate you. Be nice to yourself. Maybe check out the 5-Minute Journal. I'm not sponsored, but work on that gratitude and affirmations mindset. Yeah, and thanks for making my Sunday better. That was great. We'll see you guys in the next one. Adios.